Okay, boys and girls, we're going to be talking about figurative language in poems. And so figurative language includes different figures of speech. And some that we're going to be looking at today would be some similes and some metaphors. And similes would be a comparison of two things using like or as, or a metaphor, which is a comparison of two things by saying one thing is like another thing. So what is the difference? They're kind of the same, except a simile uses the words like or as. Here's an example. I'm as happy as a clam. That would be a simile. A metaphor would be you are comparing two things to another, but you don't use the words like or as. You could say, you must be a walking encyclopedia to know all those facts. So what I have here for us today is I have a poem. And it's by Ken Nesbitt, and it's called A Pug Is a Dog. So does everybody have that poem in front of them? I gave you that poem. A pug is a dog. Oh, if I had it in my hand and then I put it down. So we should all have that poem. A pug is a dog. A pug is a dog. And so let's read that poem. It says, a pug is a dog with a curly cute tail. He eats like a hog and he snores like a whale. He's flat in the snout and his belly is big. The pug came about just by misspelling pig. Okay? Now there's some figurative language in this poem. Do you see what is the figurative language in this poem? What are we saying that's figurative language? And I want to be able to highlight it for us. So let's see if we can figure out the figurative language. Where do we see some figurative language in here? What do you see? Avery?
Snores like a whale.
Snores like a whale. What do you think they mean by that he snores like a whale?
He snores really loudly.
Snores really loudly, yes. Anything else? Do you see any other? Juliana?
He eats like a hog.
Eats like a hog. What do you think that means? Eats like a hog.
He eats very messy.
Eats messy. What else could it mean? Kelsey?
Eats a lot.
Eats a lot. Very good. So, and what type of figurative language is this? What type of figurative language is this? What is this an example of? Teddy?
A simile.
A simile. How do you know it's a simile, Teddy?
Because it's comparing something with like or as.
With like or as, we have the words like. Eats like a hog, like a whale. So it's comparing. Very good. So this is a poem about a pug. And does it give you kind of a real idea of what a pug is like?
Yes.
Yes. And that's what they're like. Very nice. So we have figurative language. And poems, they give us pictures. There's a lot of imagery in a poem. They're painting a picture for us. And this really paints a picture. Now, here's what else we're going to do. Now, I have given you another paper. And on the paper that I gave you, it says, read the poem. Now, I'm going to give you a different poem, a longer poem. And let's look at this paper. It says, a simile is a comparison using like or and, correct? Oh, it should say like or as. That's a misprint. A metaphor is a word or phrase that compares nouns, so it's comparing. Now, what we're going to do is I have a much longer poem that is called My Brother is a Genius. And I think you're going to, you know what? What happened is that poem got cut off, so I have a different poem for you. I think on the back of that page, the page you have, it got cut off. Oh, no, it didn't. It didn't get cut off. So we're good. We can use that one. I was thinking that one got cut off, but it didn't. My nostrils smells awesome. Do you have the whole poem, or did some of it get cut off?
No.
You have the,
your nose.
okay? Then I'm gonna get that poem, because on some of them, they got cut off. So it's like, I'm gonna have to get you another poem. So let's find that poem. I'm going to get that poem up for us. Any of the poem there is.
No, awesome. Ew. Oh, my nose smells so good.
Here's my nostril smells awesome.
We can't even smell it first.
So here it is. My nostril smells awesome. And we're going to be looking for examples of figurative language. My nostril smells awesome. My nostril smells awesome inside of my nose, a bit like the bloom of a newly picked rose. It started this morning, I couldn't say why, and all day it smelled like banana cream pie. It has the aroma of freshly baked bread with hot melted butter and blackberry spread, and maybe the breeze of a warm afternoon that follows a thunderstorm early in June. It smells like a pine forest right by a lake and chocolate chip cookies my mom likes to bake. Like kettle corn popping over a fire and laundry the moment it's out of the dryer. My nostril smells awesome, so I have a plan to sit and enjoy it as long as I can. Don't ask how it happened, I really can't say. Perhaps it's my finger that's smelling this way. That's gross. Okay, so boys and girls, do you see any figurative language in there? What's some figurative language in there? What do you see? Elisa, what figurative language are you seeing in our poem? Popping over a fire. Yes, that is figurative language, and that's an example of what? Do you remember what that is? Popping? What example is that of? Do you remember what we call that? Who remembers what that's called? Libby? Onomatopoeia. Very good. So that's some onomatopoeia we have there. So I'm going to highlight that. You guys can also circle that on your paper, because that is some figurative language. Very good. Popping. Excellent. What else are we seeing in our poem? Kelsey?
Like a pine forest.
Like a pine forest. Okay, so like a pine forest. And so here's what we're going to want to do. So let's write that on our paper here. Let's write that, like a pine forest. Like a pine forest on our paper. Like a pine forest. Like a pine forest. Yes, Avery.
Chocolate chip cookies my mom likes to bake.
Chocolate chip cookies my mom likes to bake. It says chocolate chip cookies my mom likes to bake. Would that be, and what example, okay, so let's go back. Like a pine forest, what example is that? What's that an example of? Did somebody tell me what that's an example of? Who told me the chocolate chip cookie one? Or no, who told me the pine forest one?
Kelsey.
Kelsey, what is that an example of?
What it smells like.
Yes, and what type of figurative language is that?
Simile.
A simile. And then we have the chocolate chip cookies one. What is that an example of?
A simile.
Do we have the word like?
Yeah.
Well, likes to bake, but that isn't, I'm going to say that might not be a simile.
Oh, a metaphor.
That's probably more of a metaphor. Metaphor. Okay. doesn't say smells like chocolate chip cookies. So maybe we could say that's like a simile. Maybe we'll call that one a simile because it smells like chocolate chip cookies. Okay. What else do we have? What else do we have? That is figurative language. Do we have some more figurative language in here? Logan, what do you see?
All day it smelled like banana cream pie.
Smelled like banana cream pie. Yeah, we're writing them down on our paper. Yes, write chocolate chip cookies, like banana cream pie. There's a lot of figurative language in this one. What else are we seeing here, Olive?
It smells like laundry the moment it's on the dryer.
Laundry. The moment it's out of the dryer. So it smells like laundry.
Can we write that down?
Yes. We're writing these all down. That's why we have our recording sheet. So we can write them all down.
Do we also write pop popping?
We're not going to write pop popping because the sheet that we have now is dealing with the similes and the metaphors. And that was onomatopoeia, which was a good catch. Yanni, did you have one that you found?
Freshly baked bread.
Freshly baked bread. You betcha, freshly baked bread. This poem has a lot, doesn't it? It has a lot of similes in it. It's like freshly baked bread. Ivy.
It's like newly picked rose.
Newly picked rose. I think now when we read poems, we're never going to read poems the same way again because we're going to be looking for all this figurative language in them. We're going to be looking for similes. We're going to be looking for metaphors. We're going to be looking for onomatopoeia. Aren't you going to be looking for all these things, boys and girls? Yes.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Hurry. What else are we going to be looking for? We're going to be looking at rhyme scheme. Oh, as a matter of fact, if we have time, we could do the rhyme scheme on this poem. So much fun. Yes, everybody looks so excited. Think, oh, rhyme scheme. We're good at that. Yes, Avery.
Can you name the words that we did? Like the sentences?
What about them?
Like, can you say them?
Can we say them?
Yeah.
What we already have? We have newly picked rose, banana cream pie, freshly baked bread, pine forest, chocolate chip cookies, laundry.
I don't have any. That's all it is.
Okay?
One time first.
Yes.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Yes. Please go to the bathroom. Yes. Yes, go to the bathroom. Okay, anybody else have any? Do we have any others?
Oh.
Do we have one? Yes?
The breeze of the warm afternoon.
Oh, a breeze of a warm afternoon. You're right, because it smells like the breeze of a warm afternoon. Elisa, did you find one?
Freshly baked
We already have freshly baked bread. We already found that one. Ivy?
Butter and blackberries, melted butter and blackberry spread.
Yes, melted butter and blackberry spread.
Or hot.
Hot melted butter. Hot melted butter. This one has a ton of similes in it, because these are all similes. It's like, or it has the aroma. Yes.
If we run out of room, should we write on the back?
You know, once we fill up our page, we can kind of quit writing them. We'll just highlight them. Once we run out of room on our page, we'll quit writing them.
Okay, so I just have one more slot. So, oh, I have one.
Yes.
Thunderstorms early in June.
Thunderstorm, early in June. All these things. Juliana, you found another?
Like kettle corn.
Like kettle corn. Yes, it is like kettle corn.
I wrote
We found the onomatopoeia, but it's like kettle corn.
Okay, got it. Okay, this is my last one. Like, we had a little tiny egg. I don't know, I can't put any. I can't either. I can't put any more.
I think we might have them all.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anymore. Almost the whole poem is highlighted because it was just filled with them. So, what do you think they're saying what do you think our poet is saying? What is the poet saying in this poem? What is he telling us when he's describing all these smells? What has gone on in this poem? Who knows? What has gone on in this poem? What do you think he's telling us? Because we know the poet is a man. So what is this poet telling us, Logan?
That is nostril/hand smell good.
And how does he know that? What has he been doing? Yes?
Smelling it.
Why? How?
He said it smells good.
Yes? Where's his finger bit? Where is his finger? Yes?
Up his nose.
Up his nose.
He's been touching all the stuff we've been writing.
Yeah, he's been touching all those things, and then he's putting his finger in his, up his nose. He's been picking his nose, boys and girls. That's what they,
There's like banana cream pie. That's
yeah, right up his nose.
banana cream pie. I'm gonna put it outside. That's my brother's. I put a smoke on my brother, so it's kind of gross.
There we go. So good job, boys and girls, looking for the figurative language.